the same day Abraham Lincoln signed the Secret Service into existence, he was assassinated, April 14th, 1865. Same day. Let that sink in for a second. That's where this story starts. And over the next 160 years, the weapons these agents carried went from a single snub-nosed revolver hidden in a coat pocket to suppressed military-grade rifles on rooftops. This is the full story of Secret Service firearms. And trust me, it's not what most people think. Let's go. Here's what almost nobody knows. The Secret Service was not created to protect the president. Lincoln didn't sign it to guard himself. He signed it to fight counterfeiting. Back then, nearly 1/3 of all U.S. currency was fake. That was the crisis. Presidential protection? That came later. And it took blood to force it. In 1901, President William McKinley was shot twice at a public event in Buffalo, New York. He survived the shooting, then died 8 days later from infection. Congress was furious. The country was shaken. And in 1902, the Secret Service was officially given one mission: protect the President of the United States. Now they needed weapons to do it. Early agents carried what most American law enforcement carried at the time: revolvers. The Colt Detective Special 38 Special became standard issue. Why? Because it was compact, concealable under a suit. Because back then, agents weren't supposed to look like bodyguards. They were supposed to disappear into a crowd. But here's the story that stops people cold. Agent Frank Slocum carried one revolver for his entire 20-year career: a Colt Marshall snub-nose 38 caliber. With that single firearm, he personally protected 5 presidents: Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford. One gun, 5 presidencies. When Slocum retired, that revolver went to the NRA National Firearms Museum, where it still sits today. Go find it if you're ever in Fairfax, Virginia. Worth the trip. Then, 1963 happened. Dallas changed everything. The threat had evolved, and the Secret Service knew it. Revolvers weren't going to cut it anymore. They needed more firepower, and they needed it fast. March 30th, 1981, Washington, D.C. John Hinckley Jr. fires 6 shots at President Reagan outside the Washington Hilton. Agent Jerry Parr throws Reagan into the limousine. But it's what happened next that gun people never forget. An agent in the crowd, right there on the sidewalk, reaches inside his suit jacket and pulls out an Uzi, full size, in plain sight, on a city street. That image hit every newspaper in the world. Here's what most people didn't realize. The Uzi had been in Secret Service use since the 1960s. Compact, reliable, 32-round magazine, 9mm. Easy to hide under a coat, fast to deploy in a crowd. Perfect for close protection work. But as threats evolved and engagement distances grew, the Uzi's limitations became clear. What works at 10 feet doesn't always work at 100. Enter the HK MP5, specifically the Navy variant MP5A3. Collapsible stock, double magazines, better accuracy, better range, better control. The MP5 became the go-to long gun for the counter-assault team for years. And here, quick note for the gun nerds in the comments. You've seen the MP5K in every Secret Service movie ever made. Air Force One, The Sentinel, Salt, all wrong. The service never ran the K variant. Too short, not enough range. They used the full-length Navy version. Hollywood got it wrong again. Now, let's talk about the handgun that defined modern Secret Service protection. The Sig Sauer P229, chambered in .357 SIG. And for nearly 30 years, if you were protecting the President of the United States, this was on your hip. Why 357 SIG? Because it was engineered to replicate the terminal performance of a 357 Magnum revolver in a semi-automatic platform. Fast, flat-shooting, hard-hitting, and critically effective through barriers, glass, vehicle doors, interior panels, which matters a lot when half your job involves motorcades. The P229 wasn't just chosen for raw power, it was chosen because when seconds count and barriers are in the way, it still works. Agents also qualified quarterly on the Remington 870 shotgun, 12-gauge, double-aught buckshot, and steel slugs. No cutting corners. Even when you carry a P229 every day, you still qual on the 870. Because you never know what situation you're walking into. Now, here's where the arsenal gets serious. The modern Secret Service doesn't operate as one team. It operates in layers, and each layer carries something different. The standard sidearm is shifting away from 357 SIG toward the Glock 19 in 9mm. Why? Because modern 9mm hollow points have caught up. Less recoil, higher capacity, lower cost per round, more training reps. And more training reps means better performance under pressure. The Glock 47 is also entering the conversation, a full-size platform developed specifically for federal law enforcement, built on a G45 frame with a full G17 length slide, fully compatible with G19 magazines. The transition is happening, but the real firepower comes from the counter-assault team, the CAT, call sign Hawkeye. These are the operators in tactical gear you see fully exposed at events, standing their ground while everyone else runs. Their primary long gun? The Knight's Armament SR-16 CQB. 11.5-inch barrel, CAC suppressor, Magpul CTR stock, Law tactical folding stock adapter, short, fast, quiet, lethal. We saw all this in real time at Butler, Pennsylvania in July 2024, when shots were fired at the Trump rally. CAT operators took up defensive positions immediately. The radio crackled. Hawkeye is here. And those suppressed SR-16s were up and ready. Above the crowd, counter snipers, running the Remington 700 with AX/AICS chassis, a modular platform that allows caliber swaps, barrel changes, accessory customization. Also seen running the Knight's Armament SR-25 in 7.62 by 51mm NATO, paired with loopholed Mark IV and Trijicon ACOG optics. They work in pairs, shooter and spotter, wind, distance, angle. And here's the thing most people don't think about. By the time you see a counter sniper on a rooftop, they already have a firing solution. They're not waiting, they're ready. And then there's the weapon most people walk right past, the FN P90. Compact bullpup design, 50-round top-mounted magazine, 5.7 by 28mm ammunition, a round specifically engineered to penetrate body armor. Ambidextrous, easy to handle, devastating at close range. You've probably seen agents at events carrying what looks like a large briefcase or portfolio. That's not a briefcase. That's a P90 carry system. The weapon is holstered inside, ready to deploy in seconds, right next to the president, in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight. From a single snub-nose revolver in a coat pocket walking beside President Eisenhower, to suppressed rifles on rooftops with firing solutions already calculated, the firearms of the Secret Service tell the real story of presidential protection. Every assassination, every attempt, every near miss changed how these agents train, equip, and position themselves. The mission hasn't changed since 1902. Protect the president at all costs. The tools just got a whole lot more capable. And next time you see those agents standing quietly in the crowd, hands at their sides, eyes moving, just remember, they're carrying a lot more than you think. Drop a comment with the platform you want a full breakdown on. Subscribe for real firearm history, no fluff, and practical analysis. Stay safe, stay sharp, and as always, stay practical.